Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and I just wanted to go ahead and kind of talk about the Ford 200 rebuild that I have been working on now for a little while. The good news is that I started working on the truck again, and I'm very excited about that because I really did hit kind of a roadblock with the vehicle for a little while. Just didn't really feel like working on it. And now that I'm actually really working on the motor again and kind of buttoning up some of those smaller issues, it makes me feel really good to say, hey, I'm back, I'm out here, back in the garage and knocking out a lot of the work that needs to be done. I think part of the reason why I feel a little bit more excited to work on the vehicle again is because I just left a car show today, and seeing other people out there who have their vehicles and talking about their vehicles, the things that they're doing with it, honestly kind of motivated me a little bit more. So you might be wondering, okay, well, what have I been up to? Well, I was able to completely knock out all of the vacuum lines for the motor. Specifically, I knocked out the lines for the distributor and the lines for the automatic transmission. It took me a little while. I will say bending lines, is not my favorite thing to do, but I am actually kind of happy with how my work came out. It's not the best. I'm not going to be, I would never claim that I'm the best at doing this type of thing. However, it was a lot easier than I think I was making it out to be, at least in my own head. So let's look over some of the work. Let's talk about some of the other things that I have been doing because we are a lot closer to getting the old Ranchero back on the road than ever before. So let's get into it. All right, so first things first, the lines. As you guys can see right over here, I have went ahead and replaced the rubber hoses that I had initially put here with this hard line here. So it goes all the way to the carburetor. This one here goes straight to the distributor. And this second line here kind of runs through this little cubby hole almost past the carburetor, kind of in between the carburetor and the valve cover, all the way back to the automatic transmission. That's going to be the vacuum that's needed in order for the transmission to properly shift. Whereas this line here is just to make sure that the advance actually works whenever you're giving the motor some gas when you're actually going down the road. I will say, I think this looks way better than what I had originally had on there. The rubber hoses were honestly such a temporary fix. It wasn't even really a fix because I didn't even drive the vehicle like that. So I'm very, very happy to say that I did take the time to come out here and do this. Now, the one thing that is definitely in mind is just how much better this line here does look. I don't know if you guys remember, but you guys can look at the old videos or the videos before I began the rebuild. The lines to the distributor and the carburetor and even the transmission vacuum line, those things were just absolutely garbage. I believe that they were the original lines, and I am very happy with the fact that I tried very hard to make this not interfere with anything or interfere as less as possible. So, I can still take off this valve cover if I wanted to, although the carburetor does kind of obstruct that just a little bit, once again, it is what it is. With that type of upgrade that you're going to have that obstruction up there. But I definitely did try to make this as user-friendly as possible. So, I can still take this off. The one thing that is kind of obstructed, which is really not even that big of a deal, is this one spark plug over here. But, getting this on and off is really not even that big of a deal because it's slightly obstructed. I still think I can get there's still plenty of space for tools and things of that nature for this one item here. Like I said, I think that this looks way better. So I'm really happy with the line of work. Now let's talk about some of the things that I'm going to be getting done fairly soon for this rebuild as well. I have been talking around to different exhaust shops, and I'm very lucky that I found an exhaust shop that is willing to work on this vehicle, and they quoted me a very, very good price to install a true dual outlet exhaust system on this truck. And that is very, very exciting because that's exactly what I wanted. Now, mufflers. I have been thinking for quite some time what type of mufflers I want installed on this. And I went out and I bought some glass pack mufflers. Now, I don't know if those are ultimately what I am going to be actually installing. I think I may go in a different direction, which I'm not too upset about. Those glass packs are really not that expensive. I do want a louder, more aggressive sounding exhaust system, but I definitely don't want anything that is going to make my neighbors hate me, because I definitely like my neighbors and I'd like to keep it that way. As of right now, truth be told, I've been kind of hesitant to start the motor because open headers is extremely loud. When this thing is up and running, it actually shakes the walls of my house. And it sounds like it's almost a V8 open header. So I definitely need to get the exhaust system installed on it so I can actually properly tune it. And, hopefully pick a pair of mufflers that, although I do want that aggressive sound, is not just so loud to the fact that where it makes my whole neighborhood hate me, because once again, I like my neighbors, I like my neighborhood, I like this car as well, but I don't want to sound like a total douchebag driving around with a loud truck and then it just ends up being a 6-cylinder. Nothing against 6-cylinders, they're absolutely awesome. Obviously, I spent the time rebuilding this one, but I don't want to be that guy, if you know what I mean. Okay, so future projects or future things that we are doing with this build. So I am going to be starting to work on the fuel line for this as well, because once again, this has been super temporary. This looks like dog water. So we're going to go ahead, get that the heck out of here, and I'm going to be making hardline go all the way around for this build. I am going to be getting a breather cap because that PCV system is not going to work with the way that I thought it was going to work. Luckily, quite a few of you in the comment section of my last video reminded me of basic operational systems for this part, and just reminded me that the way that I had it set up is not going to work. So thank you for the advice. I really do appreciate it, and we're going to go ahead and get that fixed. Following that, the distributor. So these wires, they're going to go. I'm going to be buying the proper spark plug wires for a Ford 200 from DUI. The only bad part is that they are, I think it's about $100. So they are very expensive for what they are. However, I'd rather just have the proper size spark plug wires on the motor, because this doesn't really look good. Now, the lucky part, at least for me, is that these spark plugs or spark plug wires should last a very long time. I already had these just sitting on the shelf, so whenever I do go out and buy a V8, project, I'll just go ahead and hopefully I can still use these same exact ones depending on what I go out and purchase. All right, now the next thing that I'm going to have to fix is going to be the heater core. So the heater core right over there, or at least the hoses that go to the heater core. The heater core itself is leaking. I got a surprise one day. I went into the Ranchero and smelt something kind of sweet. Was like, oh, what the heck is that? Looked at the floor and saw a whole bunch of engine coolant lying or laying on the ground on the passenger side of the truck. So, which means heater core is out, which also most likely means that the heater box itself is probably destroyed, just given its age and the fact that there's now coolant that's been sitting in the heater box for, God knows for how long. So the issue that I'm kind of running into with that particular project is I actually don't know if they make that heater box anymore. I'm almost positive that they still make the heater core, but the heater box itself is probably not made for the Ranchero anymore, unless the Fairlane heater box box is the same exact one, because I know that there's a lot of interchangeable parts between the Fairlane and the Ranchero. Because the Mustang heater box, at least from my understanding, is completely non-compatible for this truck. So, you know, hey, it is what it is. It's one of those things. But if anyone has any advice on that, I would really appreciate some feedback on that, because, you know, that would just mean a lot to let me know that I can go out and buy a new one of those, because I don't know if you guys know, but from my understanding, those heater boxes themselves are actually made of fiberglass. So whenever engine coolant gets on them, they tend to want to warp, because, well, that's just what exactly fiberglass likes to do. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be upgrading the master brake cylinder from a single pipe or a single pot to a dual pot. I already have the new master brake cylinder here. I just got to go ahead and install it. And following that, I'm going to have to redo all of the brake lines. So that is something that I've always wanted to do. It's just a more safe design to have the dual pot as opposed to the single pot. And I'll tell you, you know, hopefully I'm not feeling overly confident, but after doing the lines for the vacuum, I really do think that I can get in there and actually knock out the lines for the brake system, you know, and just, you know, feel safer driving the truck around. Last but not least, I still have to go out and purchase the vintage inlines adapter piece, so I can go ahead and hopefully fix the angle on this carburetor. Now, the good part is that from my understanding, just because of the degrees that I'm off, none of this should hopefully have to change. I may have to maybe bend it just a little bit more, but that's perfectly fine. This stuff was fairly easy for me to make it fit on here. So that's about it. That's everything that I have going on. We are getting the work done. So the next video that you guys should see, hopefully, will be an exhaust video after it's been installed. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.